A very warm welcome to all the attendees of this session. And today we are going to learn from Mr. S. Ganesh how to sketch your own house. That's going to be a very, very interesting session for all of you. Let me have the privilege to introduce the speakers of the day. Mr. S. Ganesh, who is graduated in civil engineering from Jerusalem College of Engineering affiliated to Anna University, Chennai. Masters in Structural Engineering from Vellore University of Technology. He has worked as a structural design engineer in Computers and Structure Incorporation, New Delhi. He handled various structural design projects like residential and commercial buildings, multi-speciality hospitals, complexes, and school buildings, together with various architects and consultants. His excellence in various software skills like ETABS, StatPro, Revit, and MS Excel helped various students for stepping towards software-based projects. Presently, he is working as an assistant professor in School of Civil Engineering, Lovely Professional University, having more than 8+ years of experience in handling structural analysis and design courses, building information modeling, analysis and design of bridges as well. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
We also have with us Mr. Neeraj Sharma, a senior officer, Lovely Professional University. He's the guy who is going to save a lot of money of yours. He'll be discussing about the scholarship. He'll be discussing about how to traverse through the website and find your own program and of course the scholarship. I welcome you, sir, as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Without wasting much of the time, I hand over the things to Mr. S. Ganesh for the content of the day. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I welcome all participants for today's webinar on Sketch Your Own House. So the topic which I'm going to cover today will definitely help you to identify how to prepare a plan for your house and also how this work is going to be carried out in the systematical manner, that is using certain softwares, how people are working with the softwares, and how they are projecting the plan in an effective manner where industrial people are working with various architectures. So myself has worked as a structural design engineer with various architectures. So certain cases, challenges will be having. So how we overcome that challenges and how we want to initiate the plan from the zero level. So the very first topic on the name, sketch your house. So sketch your own house, how you want to cultivate or how you want to prepare your own drawings or plan for future house. So in terms of civil engineering, we say that building house is, we need to have a proper plan. So without proper plan, we can't execute the buildings. So whatever, it's not only a house, it can be any type of buildings which you are going to prepare or you are going to cultivate, make a construction works. So that's where we are going to see how this is going to be helpful for us, right? So to start with the topic, so first of all, we should understand what is the meaning of drawing basically, and also in the terms of civil engineering drawings, so how it can be used, right? So over here, what is basically a civil engineering drawing is going to say about it. So the civil engineering drawing is all about a language of drawing, which is you are going to share information related to construction of buildings, right? So what kind of information that you want to share to the construction works? So where you want to prepare a hall, or where you need to make a bedrooms or balcony area. So what is the total size that you want to things? Since we are starting from the zero level, everybody have done a crafting work, some kind of art and craft work, a sketch. You have might done some sketch colorings, and you may done with the paper works. And after making that paperwork, how you effectively make that in terms of construction part. So how you're going to develop that plan. So the development of plan is very important. So the development of the plan. So in what manner you are going to make the development of this plan? So what are the questions that is going to ask, right? So certain kind of challenges are there. So nature is also a challenge for civil engineer. So when you talk about nature, so nature versus civil engineering. So there is very big challenge with nature and your civil engineering, especially in the structures like bridge buildings. When you go for bridges, high-rise building, or any kind of dam structures. So all these are, we are building the buildings which we want to question the nature also. The certain cases we need to find the hidden questions. So where is the challenge is hidden there. So if you are coming with the proper plan, so basically you should have a good plan to execute it. So the first part which we are going to talk about the drawings. So what drawings is going to say? So drawing is basically is a main key role. It's a key role to hold all your informations. So what all information that you are going to give? So related to area, related to the land developments, or what are the nearby surrounding portions are located near to the buildings. So that we call it as in a word of site details. So what this site details is do about? So nearby railway stations are there. So in your house, 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, there you may have a railway stations, or within 12 kilometers or 15 kilometers, you may have a hospital buildings, school buildings. So what all amenities are located, which is near to your house. So that is called we collectively as a site details and amenities. What is located near to that building portions. Then further that the civil drawing help you to understand the construction in a better way form. So today I hope you see the virtual reality game. So VR games. So number of shopping malls we go, we play VR games. So what is this VR game? So right, so virtual reality, we wear our glass and then we visualize that reality of that game, that we are inside the game aspects. So we feel that game, that you are really playing that game in a real life. So the better way of construction. So nowadays we are going into VR also. So virtual reality of constructions. So how this information is given to a particular client. So the client is satisfied. So what color of paint you need, what kind of doors you need, what kind of floorings, especially for floorings. So that all things we can get a proper information when you go with a good planning part. Then understanding the technical visualization, what the actual construction is going to be. So how the actual construction is going to be completed. So before you hand over to the client or to the completion of the projects. Right. So further that what you want to know period. So how they have these plans. So how these temples are built or pyramid structures are done. So where is that plans? So from the Asian period, so how these structures are made. So it's quite wondering for us. So how the structures are still stable and how they are protected and what kind of plans they have done. Yes, definitely they too had a plan. Definitely they too had a plan for constructing of all these things. So without plan, we can't do anything as a construction. Today we are into the computer technology. What these computer machines are doing. So they are making our works more easier and more smarter way, and also very easy to understand. Any people can easily understand what is this building plan, how these building plans are done, and what kind of computational tools are used. So that's what we are coming to know it, right? So ultimately, when you come to the plan, so after my construction, before my constructions, so you see how the visualization of the building is look. So where I want to put my tables, okay, so what kind of window frames I need, or chairs or dining hall, so where I want to deliver the projects. So this way the computer technology has been had a wide scope in civil engineering. So how these softwares are used in civil engineering terms and what kind of growth rate as there, so that we'll see in detail now with the aspects, right? So further that what we want to know, so basic conversions of units. So if you have some land or some kind of centimeters or converting to meters. How you want to make a conversion part. So first, for building drawing, the basic rule and basic important thing is the unit conversions. So you should have a strong knowledge in unit conversions. So some may do with the foots, some may deal with the inches, some will do with the meters. So all these are certain basic terms we use in civil engineering to develop the plans. So some may make in meters, square meters, we call it in square meters. So basically certain cases we deal with square meters. So if someone asks me, what is your house plan? Yes, my house is around square feet. So I used to say this is my land. So 1800 square feet. So I will say 1800 square feet, or my house is 800 square feet. So what is the square feet? So where your building is constructed, basically the ground. So how much amount of a portion is occupied to make that building construction? That is called your square feet. So how much land is occupied? So that's we need to know it. Then further, similar way, we also want to know certain more conversion factors. So this I have helped you out in the tables. So how the standard metric conversions are used in building drawings. So we have 1 inch, that is 2.54 centimeters, or if we are talking in 1 inch, 2.54, or in foots, 1 feet. So we say in a feet. So that is 30.48 centimeters. So 1 yard. So it is 91.44 centimeters. So when you start working with the plans, then slowly we need to implement this, right? So to go in depth. So what is all about the basic part? So this is called your plot area. So basically everybody is aware about this part. So when you cross in your roadside on your ground, when you play cricket in this particular ground, so you see when your childhood you play cricket in this ground. So until that we don't know what is going to be occupied in this particular land. So everybody we go play cricket, we will be using roaming here and there. But in future suddenly there might be a residential house, or there might be a factories, or some kind of institutional buildings they will be for constructions. So what is this basically? So this is nothing but the plot areas. This is all about the plot area. So what is your plot area? If someone asks you what is a plot area, so this is my plot area. So this much big plot area. So I'm going to construct my house. My dream house is going to be constructed here. So this way we need to execute the plans. So now for this 0 level, that is a plot area. So we need to mention a very simple length and to breadth. So you may be aware how to calculate this area. So length into breadth. So what is the length of this plot and what is the breadth of this plot? So very simple. So area is equal to what? Length into breadth. That's it. So when you come to know very basic, you might be studying very simple answer. So length into breadth. So this is my area, plot area. So once I measure this distance from here to here, and when I measure from here to here, so how much big plot I'm going to acquire it. Or when I purchase the land, then I make a plan and then I execute the buildings over here, right? So further that, when you develop that particular area, so after development, so how much plot or how much buildings are going to be kept inside this plot area? So these are the development from architecture side also. So apart from civil engineering, we also do that architectural detailing. So how the plots are developed in terms of your land urbanization of the lands, right? So now further that, how to start a building plan. So how to start a building drawing. So in what way we need to do it? Yes, in order to do that, so the question is how to start. Yes, so start from line sketch. What? Line sketch. So now what is line sketch basically? Why line sketch is required? So everybody done the line sketch in your schooling also, you are done. So line sketch drawings. So when you take a trace paper, so when you take a trace paper or butter paper, we say used to say butter paper or trace paper. So what you do, you trace some objects. So you keep a trace paper on the top and then you need to draw as it is. So you will make a trace of that and then you reproduce the diagram. But instead of doing a trace, now instead of doing a trace, you're going to create own. So you're going to create own. So how to create own drawings? So that is called a line sketch. The initial idea. So how you are thinking, what is your thinking capacity? So that is your initial creativity. So that comes with the creativity. So how you start your line sketch? So line sketch starts like this. It's a basic simple line. So where your rooms to be developed. So you mark your rooms where you want a passage, where you want a bathrooms, and you can put the doors and windows, all these things we can make it. And what are the measurements, size? As I said, you need a size. So what size you want a particular rooms, that you can mention in the sizes. So after making this line sketch, what is the next step? So what should be my next step? How I can carry my plan further? So now comes the question as a technical, what is a wall thickness? So what is your wall thickness layer? So what is the inner to inner dimension? So we can note down this. So after this, you should know about the wall thickness. So generally we take 230 mm. So generally we take it as a 230 mm wall thickness, or you can say 0.23 meter. So right, so this way we plan it. Right, so everybody sees a brick wall. Basically you see the brick walls, so you can see that brick walls. So how this brick wall should be placed, so that we can consider in terms of civil engineering 230 mm as a size. Then you need to know the inner to inner dimensions. So what should be the inner to inner dimension? So right, so from this to inner dimension, when you add a wall thickness, then you need to find the inner dimensions. So these are the things now we are going to develop for the next step. Right, for the next step, how we develop that plan? Yes, we develop this plan with certain part with the wall thickness. So this is a measurement of your wall thickness. So the double layer where you see, this is called your wall thickness. Right, so this is called your wall thickness. And D1 is your door, so where you want to keep your doors, and W1 is nothing but the windows, so where you want to keep a windows part. So different types of windows you can use, so that is as per your designer part. Right, now let me take to the most important part. So I have just given a remarks over here, so how you want to measure the part. So calculate first the total area. So as I mentioned earlier, so what will be the total area of this drawing? So you need to measure each rooms. What is the length? What is the breadth? What is the length? What is the breadth? So each room length and measure from this point, the middle point, over to this point. So center to center distance you can calculate, as well as you can measure the entire exterior face, from exterior face to exterior faces. So this way we develop the plan basically. And then you fix the door. Where you want to fix the door, you can plan your doors and windows as per the requirements. Right, now how I'm going to sketch my house. So the topic is, so yes, in order to find out after completing the plan, in order to find out the after completion of the plan, you see the visualization of the plan in 3D as a 3D image. So how this is going to work out, so that I will show you right now. And further that, the plan development, how you develop these plans, that we are going to see it. Then what is a section view? So when you stand in the front of your house, so imagine that you are standing in front of your house and you are seeing the wall. So that particular section, so what is happening in that particular sections? So why these sectional views are required? So maybe in your house you may have a pipelines, water pipelines are there, sanitary pipelines are there, and electrical lines might be there. So where this kind of circuit, the building service lines are going, so in such way we can see the sectional view. And also the foundation part, where we call this word as a foundations, where we call the building foundation. So how building is resting on the ground, so you need to have some fixed surface, so then only the building will be able to stable enough. Right, how this foundation to be designed, so that all concept comes under the sectional views. Right, so that is called the sectional view. Flow plan is simple. What you are seeing today's topic is on the plan only, so not on the sectional aspects. Right, so further that, what makes me to do much more faster my work? Yes. So answer is yes. So software is going to help me, right? So which software is going to help? So first, I hope you might be aware about Autodesk AutoCAD product. So this is a very famous software where people are using this to make a building plan, and you might be familiarly heard about this part. So AutoCAD software. So yes, so AutoCAD softwares are much more powerful software for making a building plans. Now, apart from the AutoCAD, we also have a Revit, so which is quite familiar in the market, and this is also highly used by all civil engineers. So both softwares are very important for a civil engineer for making a building plans. So what kind of this software is going to do? How this software is going to help the civil engineers? Right. Yes, definitely. So now this is a look of Autodesk. So when you see on the AutoCAD software, so wherever I made a plan, so you can see the sketch of the plan 4 meter. So this is in meter scale. So this is in meter scale. So 5 meter, 4 meter room size. So inner to inner dimension I have taken. So I have kept the window and then I kept the doors, and these are opening dotted lines. So this way we develop the plan in AutoCAD. So basically we develop our idea. So as I said, from the line sketch, I started that concept from line sketch. So you should also know what is a line sketch. I'll show my line sketch, then easily you can capture the concept. So how you want to understand what is a line sketch, and then I will show the AutoCAD file also how I developed my house plan. Right. So this is called AutoCAD software, where we are going to develop it into a plan. Now, similarly, this is a Revit. So when I talk about another part of software, Revit, so the same only, I have a plan here. So this is my plan, and this is my section, and this is my 3D. So now this software will help you to give you the 3D look also. So apart from 3D, we also have much more things. Materials, what color of materials you need, what inputs you want to add on this particular buildings, glass inside a building, or to visualize. So imagine that you are going to travel inside that building. Yes, the question is yes, you can do all kind of imaginary sessions you can do by rendering and walkthrough effects. So very high demand your smart cities, especially your smart cities, metro rails. So all these things are worked on this particular software. So especially all your Delhi metro rail projects. So metro rail projects, any kind of shopping malls or smart cities, especially for smart cities. So all this is a concept of Revit. So they make the models. So they make the models by using these softwares. And then we see visualization. So how this is going to be real when you go for construction. So this is how we do in a civil engineering terms. We plan, we make a development, we analyze the buildings with certain load. For the analysis part, we find out what are the errors, what are the challenges, how loads are acting on a building, and then we get the results, and then we work with the results, and then we make a construction activity as a live. So these are the things which you need to aware about what this software basically doing at the level 0, right? So further that, so you can see now, so this is my sketch. So coming to the main concept, sketch your home. So this is my own house sketch. So you can see the plans, how these plans are ready. So I made all kind of house plans. So this is a roadside. So from here the entrance is to be taken, and this is called veranda. So where you welcome your guest. So where you want to welcome your guest, there is a main portion that is called veranda, and then we have a living area, that is hall, and there is a dining. So after dining there is a bedroom, again there is a study room, and then you have another bedroom and washroom area is available here, and corridor. So after this is a kitchen area, and then I need to go to the corridors, and this is a bathroom and washroom area, and this is store, and then I can come back side again to the gate. So wherever I made a arrow marks, so this is a entrance to the doors. So this is called a basic line sketch. So first thing which you need to understand is to use a pencil and eraser. So being a civil engineer, so always have a pencil and eraser with you. So we need to develop the plans. Okay, so start with the pencils. So very good habit. So draw every sketch, whatever the sketch you are preparing, draw with the pencil and eraser. So only I added that also in my drawing file, right? So why don't draw in pen? It is not a good habit, right? So just make a correction here. Don't draw any sketch with pen. So pen is not a good suggestion to draw a plans. So always draw with a pencil. Any changes, any corrections you want to do, so easily we can correct that with your erasers and make a plan abrupt. So, and further that, the navigations. So which kind of navigation should be used? So which location your building is located? Where is the main entrance? So all these things you need to identify it. Then further that, how this is developed now. So this is a line sketch. So as I said, this is a line sketch part. So now I'm going to take my line sketch, my own house, to the software. So first I'm going to take this to the software and develop that with AutoCAD. So in AutoCAD, I develop it, then I show where is my rooms and what are the things that are required. So this is a compound wall. So where you have a compound wall, some kind of boundary layer. So that we call it as a boundary line. BL means boundary line. So beyond that, we know adjacent house might be there, your neighbor house will be there. So we should not go and do the construction activities behind this boundary line. So that is called BL, right? So further that, what I showed in the sketch, so same what you see in the paper. So now I developed this in the proper plan. So now you can see the plan, how this plan is developed exactly in AutoCAD software. After developing in AutoCAD software, so how this is going to be in a 3D view. So I want to see now, I want to visualize my house, how my house is going to look. So yes, definitely my house is going to look like with sketch. So how the sketch is going to look. So with some more graphical is added. So this is done through Revit. So little bit a graphical feature is added through this. So all these bedrooms and color logos are added and legends. So the lines are showed with the legends part. So now further that, what you want to do. So how you want to develop this part. So let me just share my screen. I'll show the project. Just a minute. Okay, so let me show in live so that you come to know how this work is going to be done in a realities.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I think you have finished up with the presentation.
No, I'm just shifting the screen. Just
Okay.
okay. So now it is going to show me a live model. So how this live model is working. So in what case this kind of plan, any kind of changes you want to add, any changes in the windows, or you want to change the color of walls, so that we can do in a certain changes, right? So further that, how this is going to be done in realities. So when you go for graphical appearance, when you do the rendering, so you come to know how this rendering is effect is done, right? So here is on the screen, so you can check that in the screen, right? Okay, so you can see my screen, I guess now. So if any issues, please let me know. So now, as I showed you, so this is the plan. So this is the plan. Now see that I want to show that in a 3D part. So I want to visualize this in a 3D part. So you can see that in 3D part, as simple, this is my house. So you can see this is my house. It's going to be. So where you can place your car, where you can place all these things and make your doors, everything. See the compound walls. So all sub which we can add details. Now, when I add something inside this plan, so I want to add some windows to this structure. So I can click on the window, which type of window you want. You can select which type of windows basically you need. So if I place the window, immediately you can see in the 3D. So what kind of glass windows you are placing. So that will be placed over here. So the planning is very crucial. You need to have a patience, right? So you need to think twice. So what kind of material, what kind of size you are going to adopt in the building plans, and then you need to go for executions. Because once you start the work of construction works, then you can't alter things. So the basic thing which you want to understand at this particular stage is proper planning. If you're not having a proper planning, then we can't make a house properly, right? It's fine. So you can see much more details, what kind of type windows, basically what type of windows you need. So easily you can see different types of windows, how you can bring the types of windows. So all these are the different types of windows you can bring. So I want to bring these types of window. So I can add that. So which size you need, you can add it and you can place it. So you can bring it and place in this sessions. Right. So now you can go and check. So the windows are placed on the back side. So you can rotate the screen. Now you can see the windows. So right. So this is the way how we develop the plans. Then further you want to have a walkthrough effect. So you want to have walkthrough effect. Then you can have more detail. So in meanwhile, let me share you a few sample projects which we have in the few sample projects. So how this few sample projects is going to work. So yes, so to go ahead. Okay, so I have shared one office file. So this is one office project. So I want to make some IT corridor building. So in such case, I want to create some floors for working space. So how this creativity of working space. So from the top view, you see only the plan. So from the top view, you see only the plans and everything. So now when you see this in a 3D, so when you go and see this in a 3D view, so now you can see the reality of buildings. So how this building, imagine this building is going to be constructed somewhere in Delhi, right? So it's an office building, so IT corridor. So how this is going to be carried out, right? So this is what we see. So you can see the staircase, clear-cut staircase are there inside the building. Terrace plantations are kept, so handrails are given, then lift, then you can see the cubicles. So where office cubicle cabins are there. So you can easily see the office cubicle cabins, chairs, everything. So this is the identification of the software. So what level of planning you're going to do. So all details you can see. So what all the details you can see on this part. So further that how you want to do is all about. So the colors, you want to have some plantations. You want to do some plantations, car parkings. So how you want to do the car parking area or compound walls, all these things. And few residential building. Yes, I do have some residential buildings. So how we can go for residential building planning also, right? So even pipelines, I have for pipelines also. So pipelines like water sanitary connections and drainage facilities. So all this we have a part of this part. So we can do on this aspect on your buildings. So now this is another residential buildings. So how we are going to do residential buildings. So on this aspects, so you can see clear cut. So we can make some grill gates. So here the gate portion will be here, and you can see the pillars, and you can see the plantations. And I want to make a plan of this. I need a plan. So this building, yes, definitely I have a plan of this building. So this is my plan of this building. So this is one live projects. So in Puducherry, so we are planning working on the building. So it's a residential plan. So the client need to see how the building is going to be visualized after construction work. So what we do, so we get the idea from the client. So where the bedrooms or hall they need. So we prepare a plan. So this is the plan. And then finally we give a proposal. So this is a project for the title, and then we give a navigations and what are the details they expect that we make as a model, that we make as a software model, and then we show them. So your building is going to look like this. So definitely you can go and make constructions. Now further that, the beauty of this is further, you can get all the data. What will be the budget of this building? If someone asks me what is the budget of this building, what is the total cost of this building, or the floor area, what are the materials used in these projects? Yes, the software can give you the all details of that also. So you can get all the data from this. So when you go and design this complete building, so when you go and make complete design of this building, and then that gives you the complete data for you. So here we have in terms of many concepts. So it's a wide ocean type. So more concept related to loads, structural aspects, project manager. So when someone wants to be a project manager, so they may be handling with number of laborers, number of equipments, or constructional activities. Yes, definitely. For them also this software is very, very useful. That is called management. So how the things to be managed, right? So these are the ways we come to know it. Then also I will show you some trade, some supermarkets. So when you have some kind of supermarkets, so yes, so this is a kind of supermarket. So I used to do for supermarket plans. So when you have some commercial buildings, so when you have some commercial buildings, so how this commercial building is going to plan. So these are the way how you sketch. First of all, you need to have a proper sketch. So make your plan ready. So make your plan ready. So without plan, we can't make the construction activities as ready. So this is a plan you can see in the first floor. Yes. So this is how we make the plans. So a very, very essential things, you need to start from your basic line sketch. So without line sketch, we can't make any kind of buildings. So start from your line sketch slowly and start developing into building plans. And then you can utilize the software, and then you can develop that plans into real models, right? So I hope this inputs is sufficient, and I hope the session is addressed to your question. And you can also take this takeaway, so you can go ahead. So you can plan a line sketch for 950 square feet. So how you want to plan a 950 square feet? So you want to take the square root of it. So everybody knows that. So you need to take a square root of this 950. Then you need to calculate one length. So what will be one dimensions? Then alternately you can adjust with another dimension. So the area root. So area root is going to give one dimensions. That is one length. So you will get one length aspects. So next you need to calculate for another aspect. So right. So 60, 40. So 2,400 square feet. Example like 2,400 square feet. 60, 40 we take. So 40 feet. 60 feet this side and 40 feet this side. So we take and we make a building area, right? So you can work on this small studies. You can go ahead. And finally, yes, where there is a civil engineering, there is always a way, right? So thank you for this session. And if you have any questions to discuss, we can discuss right now. Over to you, Rishi sir. Hello. Yes. Any questions, participants?
So first of all, I would request Neeraj Sharma to please take up his presentation, and meanwhile I will request all the attendees to please raise your hand so that I can connect you to Mr. S. Ganesh so that you can take up your queries. After the presentation by Mr. Neeraj Sharma, I request Mr. Neeraj to be really quick onto that.
Okay, right, sir. Right. I'll just quickly finish up and then we'll start up, right? I would love to share the views related to LPU first. That if you search on Google, we are India's largest private university in terms of area and number of students on a single campus. So we have only one campus in India, and that is situated in Fagwara, very close to Jalandhar in Punjab. And this is such a huge campus that is spread over more than 600 acres of land. So you can very well imagine it's a huge area, and you'll be surprised to know that we have students from 50 different countries. So you can very well imagine people coming from 50 different countries means we have very fabulous infrastructure here. The placements are very good. The faculties we have are far better in comparison to our competitors. So if I talk about the infrastructure as well as the facilities available within the campus, we have a very huge mall here, right? We have a hospital, we have separate hostel facilities for boys and girls, which are 100% secure. We have very good indoor stadium, then of course banks, ATMs, post office, each and every facility which a student needs in day-to-day life is available within the campus itself. So now quickly rushing to the presentation part, right? So I will love to share the details with you, right? Now, if you see in the very first slide, this shows that yes, 13 LPU students, they are the ones who participated in Olympic Tokyo Games, which were postponed to 2021. And we feel really proud to share that 10% of the Indian Olympic participants were LPU students. Another feather to a cap, that LPU team has lifted runners-up trophy at Khelo India University Games, and none other than the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, along with the Sports Minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, has awarded the runners-up trophy to LPU team at Khelo India University Games. Then if I talk about rankings, right, again I feel proud to share, as per the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings of 2022, LPU stands at 74th position globally, right? And as per the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, we stand at 36th position among the top universities of India. So these includes both government as well as private universities. And if I talk about subject-wise ranking, we are second in business and economics, 8th in clinical and health, 9th in computer science, and 10th in engineering and life sciences. Again, in one of another good rankings, Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements, we stand at 3rd in India. Now coming to the campus life and the exposure offered. See what a student can expect once he or she reaches our campus. So you can see in the very first slide, none other than our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He was here with us at our campus in LPU, and he was the one who inaugurated Indian Science Congress. Then of course, His Holiness Dalai Lama, you can see he was here with us and he shared his experiences with our students and faculty members in one of the functions at LPU. Then you can see two former presidents, one ex-president of Afghanistan and one ex-president of India. They both shared the dais and were present at one of the convocations held in LPU. Then none other than late Finance Minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, he was here with us and he was the one who started the startup school of LPU. Then Gohar Gopal Das, the spiritual guru, you can see in the picture, he was here. He was the one who shared his life experiences and interacted with our students and faculty members. Then none other than the Bollywood icons, you can see in the picture, Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika, Ranbir Kapoor, Alia Bhatt, you name them and you find them at our campus in LPU at different events at different intervals of times. So again, MS Dhoni, the ex-captain of Indian team, Indian cricket team, he was here with us. He shared his experiences with us, with the students. Then coming to the infrastructure part. So if I tell you that this is the building, 14 blocks back to back, including the library and the ECE department within the campus. Then a very big auditorium which has a capacity of 2,500 students in one go. Then this is the mall I was talking about, that we do have a separate mall within the campus, right? So this is the inner view of the mall. and we have almost all the facilities which are available in the mall itself. Then a fully automated library which is functional 24/7 for the benefit of the students. Then of course the recreational facilities for the enjoyment of the students. We do have bowling area, we have fully equipped gymnasium. Then of course this is the hospital I was talking about. We do have a 25 bedded hospital and a dental chair. Then this is the inner view of the hospital. And the gymnasium, we have a very big indoor gymnasium where Olympic size swimming pool is there. Then basketball, volleyball, badminton, squash courts are there. Of course, a gun shooting range is also available in our indoor stadium. In the panoramic view of the campus, the night view. So quickly rushing to the other part. Now let's say, as the Sir Ganesh were talking about a particular program. Let's say somebody is interested to join LPU and wants to get admission. So what you need to do to get the brief of the program, you need to visit our site, which is lpu.in. On the very first page, you will find a tab by the name Admissions. When you click on this tab, it will ask you whether you're looking for programs which are undergraduate or postgraduate or after post-graduation or doctoral programs. So depending on your requirement and eligibility, you need to search the program. So somebody looking for undergraduate program, we need to click on this part, regular programs. So it will show you the different streams, different branches which are available with us, right? So accordingly, again, according to your interest and eligibility, you'll click that part. So these are the disciplines which we have for undergraduate. So if I'm looking for engineering, I'll click on engineering part, and these are the streams, the branches which are available. So if I'm interested in civil engineering, so I'll click on this part. So once I click on a particular stream or branch, it will tell the brief details about the program, that yes, this program is a 4 years degree with 8 semesters. So what is the eligibility of the program and how you can further proceed. So depending on that particular course, right, you can know about the details. Like in this case, in civil engineering, eligibility says that you need to have 60% marks in 10+2, and you must have studied physics, mathematics, chemistry, and English as compulsory subjects. Along with that, students have to clear our LPU NEST test or JEE Mains. Means in eligibility, you can either clear JEE Mains or LPU NEST. So accordingly, you can proceed for the admission part. Now coming quickly to the other parts of the details of the program, you can go in depth about the curriculum, right? The highlights of the curriculum, what all subjects are being taught in first year, second, third, fourth. Accordingly, you can just go through in detail, right? Subject wise details. Then the electives offered in the curriculum, what all electives are there which we are offering. Then of course, coming to the main part, fee. So fee for this program, BTech Civil Engineering, is 1,20,000 per semester. This is without any scholarship. So you'll be surprised to know that we are giving very good scholarship to the students, and these scholarships are divided into 3 parts, right? So that means we are giving scholarship through different categories. Like somebody who clears the exam, LPU NEST, can claim scholarship depending on the category in which the score falls. So any student who has cleared LPU NEST and the score falls in category 3 will be given 28% scholarship, and the fee will be 86,400 per semester. If the student falls in category 2, you get 38% scholarship, fee will be 74,400 per semester. And if the student falls in bracket 1 or category 1, you get 48% scholarship, and the fee will be only 62,400 per semester. So similarly, along with this LPU NEST, you can claim scholarship on the basis of JEE Mains percentile also, and even on the percentage of your 12th marks. So that means there are different categories through which a student can claim scholarships. So similarly, there are other categories also through which student can claim scholarship, can be on the basis of financial aid or can be on the basis of defense based. If somebody's parents are in defense, army, navy, air force, then also we are giving scholarships. But you need to remember that the scholarship will be given only one, and that too which will be the best among all the categories in which a student is eligible for scholarship. For example, if a student is eligible in 3 different categories, so at the time of admission, we'll compare all the 3 categories, and among all these 3, whichever will be the best one will be given to the student. And another good advantage in LPU is whatever scholarship you win in the very first semester, that gets carried forward for all the program. Means if it is a 4 years degree, you will be given the benefit of that percentage of scholarship which you have achieved in first semester for all 4 years, all 8 semesters. Okay, now coming to the important dates, you need to rush off immediately, because the last date to submit the LPU Nest application is 31st of July. So that means any student who wants to appear for our test has to apply for a test, which is by 31st July you will apply, you will appear for the exam, which will be an online exam. After appearing for that exam, the result will be out, and you need to proceed for admission within 7 days after the declaration of the result. Okay, now last but not the least, I would like to share the details for this, that if any students want to jot down, like as I told you, the website is lpu.in, but if you have any queries, we are giving you our email ID, so you can note down the email ID and you can send your queries on this ID. Even if you feel like talking to our executives, you can call on these numbers. So the email ID is admissions@lpu.co.in, and the contact numbers are 01824 517 000 and 404404. Thank you so much for your time. Wish you all the best. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Neeraj. Moving on to the queries, I can see few of our attendees over here. So I see Abhinay over here, Avinash Kumar, Dheeraj Kumar, Manik, Nilavro, Rajnath, Saroj, Suraj Singh. So if you please raise your hand, I'll be connecting to you to our experts, and you'll be definitely getting the answer what you want. Yes, Suraj. Suraj, I have given you the rights. Please unmute yourself and talk to
Good
Professor
afternoon, sir.
S. Yeah.
Good afternoon to both of you, sir. Sir, I want to ask, sir, are we going to study Revit or 3ds in the upcoming semester?
Suraj, you are joining BTech in Building Information Modeling. It's a new course in BTech. So in BTech Building Information Modeling, we are fully tie up with the industrial company that is called Technostrat, and this is a new course offered by LPU along with the industry. And in this course, we are going to detailing in the Revit concept. So what is the Revit? What is BIM basically? And then we are going to carry forward for various number of softwares, how the industry people are working. So the classes will be delivered by the industry experts. It's clear?
Thank you so much. And I would like all the other attendees to please put up your hand through the interface so that I can connect you to the experts and you can go ahead with your queries. So I'm waiting. Meanwhile, I'll see if any one of you has texted any question over here. Yes, I can see one of those. Mohammad Rafiq Wani wants to know, sir, is there any software which gives us the service life of building in advance?
Yes, for building service, we have a sustainability software that is called a Dynamo. And Dynamo, apart from Dynamo, we also have environment part. So where we go for life cycle auditing, if you take any material, example brick. So what is that brick? What is the strength of that brick? And what is its material characteristics? That we need to feed inside the software. And then we assess that using that tools that is called lifecycle management, LCA assessment. So that we can do in a Navy's work also. There is also another software where we see all this assessment, right?
Wonderful, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Dhanush has a query which goes to Mr. Neeraj over here. Yeah, Neeraj sir, he has a query regarding the admission part.
Yes, sir.
He is actually expecting a category 1 scholarship, but he's getting only 38% of that. He wants to know what is the reason behind that. So I request Dhanush to please text your details over here in the query box so that I can forward it to Mr. Neeraj Sharma. He can personally contact you regarding your query. Will it be feasible, Mr. Neeraj?
Yes, sir, definitely. If we get the contact details, we'll be able to call them and we'll be able to tell them the all details related to admission, whether it is fee structure or scholarship slab.
Yeah. So I'll be getting you the details of Mr. Dhanush, and along with the phone number, you please talk to him and answer his query. Will that be okay?
Right. Yeah,
So
no
my
problem.
webinar team will be sharing the number with you after this webinar.
No problems. Most welcome.
Okay, one last question before we sign off goes to Mr. S. Ganesh. Sir, Avinash wants to know all the softwares you told us, like Revit, AutoCAD, LPU is going to give us free training on these, or we have to pay something extra for these?
No. So we don't want to pay anything extra. So from our university, LPU, we are planning the lab sessions. In labs, we are having the softwares. And apart from that, we also have a student version license. So with help of LPU ID card and mark sheet, Autodesk is also providing a free version for all students. So definitely we don't want to purchase a software. We are getting a student license part from Autodesk.
Wonderful. That was really, really important and interesting to answer. And with this, I finish off with the queries which have been asked over here in the chat box. And I hope you have enjoyed the webinar, all of you. And I'll be ending this session by saying that experts, your years of research, your depth of understanding the topic, and your ability to present the topic in such an interesting way produced one of the most wonderful afternoons for the day. On behalf of all the attendees of this webinar, I would like to thank you for your insightful presentations. And for the attendees, you also might have found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information provided in this webinar to help take a better decision regarding your career and admissions. Once again, I'll be thanking all the experts, Mr. S. Ganesh and Mr. Neeraj Sharma, for strengthening this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.